East Boo Saga. Hey. Hello, welcome to another episode of East Boo Saga. I'm Boo Lawson. Sorry, let's talk about One Piece live action season 2. I think it's going to be really cool. I'm really excited. I've seen some of the new casting. We've got something of a memo from Oda, the man himself, Eiichiro Oda, the king of pirates, the king of the pirates. He's come out and released a statement of sorts. We're going to dig into that. In addition to that, I want to look at some of the awesome new casting announcements that have come out, and I haven't said anything about what I think of the old ones as of yet, I think, with regard to Season 2, the new Season 2 casting. I think they've done a really, really good job so far. They're striking that interesting balance of actors you know from things, but that you don't know. They're not right up in your face. They're not people that you associate with characters. I think that's a really huge thing when you cast for something like this, to make sure that when you are choosing someone that will be an important character in anime adaptations, live action adaptations, it's important to get someone to play a character who you don't recognize, because you want to be able to see them as that character. It's hard when you see them from something else, or it's not good when an actor comes in and you already have ideas about what they're like and who they are. You can't get away with it. You can't get away from it sometimes. Okay, let's have a look-see at the wonderful new memo. Didn't you get the memo? Alright, Season 2, Netflix and Tomorrow Studios. So yes, the live-action One Piece is currently in production, with filming well underway. The story will cover Logtown, Reverse Mountain, Whiskey Peak, Little Garden, and Drum Island. Think about it. Imagine how much it'll cost. Lol. That's my favorite thing about that. When I first read this message, which I did last night, I probably ran around for about 5 minutes going, he's such a G, he's such a G. No one gets how brilliant Oda is, as we all often do. Because I was going, this guy is fully aware, because of things like the construction of the Baratier set in the first season. He is fully aware of the dedication and the sort of attention to detail, but also the difficulty involved in getting these amazing sets and these locations and these background settings for the beautiful thing we know as One Piece to really come alive and work. He knows how much cost it's going to be. He knows how hard it's going to be to get it all together, and he's reveling in it. He's absolutely enjoying his ass off. It's so good to see. And he's earned this. You know, if you, whoever you are listening to this, one day get to the point where something that you love is so successful, has such a far reach, such a wide-reaching audience, is so enduring that it gets reproductions. Wouldn't you also love to sit there and just go, all right, you do it. You see how easy it is. Personally, I think that's a bullshit. That's bullshit. Sorry, I've got the new soundboard and I can't help myself. Okay, so where was I? But whether it's the script or the cast, I continue to insist on this or that, which makes Matt, the showrunner, go, ugh, and Netflix go, no, and Tomorrow Studios go, wah, as they all pull their hairs out. All that, even though we grew so close making season 1. He's having so much fun. I love it. But it's because we all share the same passion for this show. Just as with last season, they've gone out of their way to promise that they won't put the show out until I'm satisfied. This isn't in the contract, it's a verbal pledge. I hope you can appreciate how amazing and determined they are for keeping their word. Now, I love this. Oh, sorry. And they've certainly proven their ability to bring this world to the screen. I just can't wait to see it. Now, I think this is fun and it's news to me. I haven't done a huge or a deep dive into this, but to find out that Netflix ultimately has the say and that the production studios involved in this are really, at the end of the day, where the buck stops and they are the ones who determine what's going to happen is in no way a surprise to me. I've seen all sorts of strike action in recent memory from all sorts of people, actors, writers, like cast and crew, all sorts of important people getting screwed round by Netflix and all sorts of companies over the years. So it doesn't surprise me that even a person like Ichiro Oda, now I'm being really cynical there. It doesn't surprise me that Netflix gets the end say on these things. It is their product. That should surprise nobody. But what I do think is incredibly important is that they keep coming back to Oda and that they care that his vision is being put to work and is being seen to. We all care about this a great deal, but imagine how much that guy does. It's his entire life. It's the center of his universe. And if we owe anything to him, if anyone does, it's to at least give him some sense while this thing, this beautiful One Piece thing, is exploding and becoming so huge worldwide in ways that it wasn't already. It seems important to me at that juncture to make sure that Oda gets to be very much part of it, because you don't want it to get out of the box without him having a say in how. Other than that, I think it's really, really, really cool that they care so much. I mean, a lot of this is just sort of production company stuff. They feed you all sorts of stuff just to make you feel happy. Like, we're doing a really good job of talking to Oda, so it'll be good, trust me. And Oda's saying from the other side, they're doing a good job of talking to me, so it'll be good. You want to watch it, trust me. I mean, everybody has money to make here as well, right? So, like, even if it was shite, they'd be saying it was good. But that doesn't matter. Meanwhile, the previously announced cast is compiled on the official X account. It's Twitter. Everyone knows it's Twitter. So go check it out. The grand line is an even more expansive world. You may wonder, what was the inspiration behind that kingdom? Now, I think he means Drum Kingdom here. I'm not sure otherwise. Maybe he's talking about Alabaster or something, but or he's just being sort of figurative and just being like, what was the inspiration behind that kingdom? What was the inspiration behind this kingdom? Sometimes it's hard for me to tell the tone because of how Oda's stuff translates. How would it connect to the real world? Naturally, the distinctive cast members have been assembled from around the world, and I can't help but get excited thinking about how the adventure has already begun. Oda's awesome. Has always been rather worldly. I believe he was asked at some point, like, if Luffy was in the real world, what nationality would he be? And I think he said Brazilian or something to that effect. I think a lot of the stuff that he touches on, I mean, he has very direct references to all sorts of countries in the naming schemes of people, in the obvious things that they wear, the food they eat, the cultural background, the artifacts, the buildings, the landmarks, all sorts of that. He clearly references stuff that exists in our world all the time. I'm pretty sure that's how you go about making anything. You have to be looking around and inspired to create. And I can't help but get excited thinking about how the adventure has already begun. Among those yet to be announced, what about Vivi? And what about Missile Sunday? What are they doing with Chopper? We can't announce everyone all at once, but starting tomorrow we'll be announcing more cast members over 3 days, August 21st, 22nd and 23rd. Look out for those. So it's 22nd of August where I am now in Sydney, Australia, so I assume for a lot of people that's the 21st in America. Today was the first day they started dropping some of these, so there's lots of fun to be had. Katie Hagel and Mark Haralick as Dr. Kuroha and Dr. Hiraluk. I'm really vibing with them. I'm really enjoying the casting. Whoever they've got picking these people, they're having a lot of fun with it. Katie Sagal, I most recently saw her in one of the later seasons of the show Shameless, yeah, which is my sort of thing, where she was playing a completely psychotic sort of uh, psychiatrist figure who had a bit of a mental breakdown and was very hard to handle and unpredictable. And there's a sort of bit of that punky, rebellious unpredictability with the character of Dr. Kuroha, and there's certainly a lot of the crossover between, say, a psychiatrist and a doctor. So that I've seen her actually play a sort of character sort of like this recently, and she nailed it. Absolutely nailed it. There she is. Now, Mark Harlick here, I've seen him as like the dean or something in uh, Big Bang Theory that Sheldon keeps going back to and trying to get money out of for his research or something to that effect. It's been a long time since I saw that show. It looks like they've made some really intelligent decisions here. I think they look fantastic. Some of these people they've gotten in are just awesome. So awesome. Looking forward to seeing the extent with Dr. Kuroha, who I believe from what I've read online is rather central. Going to be quite central in terms of how much of a deal they make out of her character. That or they just absolutely couldn't get out of the way of how much they loved it. So they were probably bigging it up. I'm interested to see how quirky she is versus if you're going to be drinking all the time, because I hope so. Like, I loved how over the top they went, for example, with Garp and his desire to eat and the food aspect, because that was such a intense scene when he was going to town on that food. It's going to be great to see if they give her some serious adult characterization, like make it feel. Will you see and feel lines delivered by this character through drunken eyes? Because you don't get that emotive quality in precisely the same way with with anime. Uh, Now, some of the other casting decisions I think are just awesome as well. Like, I don't really have an issue with any of them as such, except this guy, Callum Kerr. Sorry, dude, you don't look like Smoker looks to me. I don't know what Smoker looks like to me, but he doesn't look like that. And I assume this is just the brutal nature of first impressions. Like, I mean, these guys are actors. They do casting calls all the time. I can't imagine how many times they got knocked back just because of impressions, let alone not being able to display your raw talent because you're having an off day or something. How they make that boy toy look like Smoker, because Smoker is one of the more jaded feeling characters in One Piece. Like, he really does seem ticked off, so I hope they don't make him into some sort of Ken doll. Who knows? Which is where I guess I branch off into my last sort of point. Oda, I think, has gone out of his way in this second season, because I think now is one of the most important times if you really want to get this show going and on the road, is you've got to nail that second season. The first season, it could have maybe gotten by on name alone and just intrigue, but the second season you've got to have returning watchers, viewers, and a commitment, right? Because Netflix wants to re-up this thing. Certainly everybody involved in making it does. What I think I'm trying to say is it really matters at this juncture that people get invested in this. And one, the product has to be good for that to be the case. Two, if they do, then everything moving forward will be better in terms of the drop-off. And that's the thing I'm concerned with. Because I think the reason we're getting a lot of Oda saying they keep talking to me, they're making sure they go by me, they're making sure they run things by me, they're making sure that I'm satisfied with the product or satisfied enough. I think the reason we're getting a lot of that is because Oda knows, and this is just straight conjecture here, this is just me pissing into the wind, but like, I think it's because Oda knows at some point the narrative, storytelling, time, production constraints are all going to hit that fucking fan, and we're going to get a lot of stuff cut and a lot of stuff chopped and changed, and people turning up in places we don't expect them to turn up, and things happening in orders we don't expect them to happen. because they're going to be taking more liberties, I think, moving forward with this. You have to sort of get the grounding and the rooting of the story right, get how the fundamental members of the Straw Hats crew, where they come from, where their stories sort of have to go at some point. Get your protagonists locked in, get your themes locked in, get your enemies locked in, and then, like, because how long is this gonna go? I just can't see them ever getting near where the manga is, right? I'm interested how they're going to start chopping and changing once we get to about, I think, the third season. Because the second season, they still have to get that pacing right. It's not like they have a content issue to worry about. They have too much content. Like they need to work out what people who are going to stick with One Piece live action as it goes forward are going to keep craving, what they're going to continue to want to see, and what they're going to be okay with going by the wayside. What do they say? Wayside. Getting sidelined. But yeah, I'm really excited. I think some of the casting is awesome. I do appreciate the sort of Oda coming out and it coming from Oda. You know, he's still the granddaddy godfather of this thing, and he's still from the top down saying, "Hey, there's stuff coming out. Keep your eyes peeled." Because he's no slouch, is he? He's been working pretty hard for quite some time. I'm Boo Lawson. I've enjoyed my time dearly. It's been a long day. All the love in the world to all of you crazy, crazy people. How are they going to do Chopper? How the hell are they going to get Chopper right? I just don't. I have no idea.